I have a feeling that I'm going to fall off this bench one day and I'm just going to laugh at myself. So, today is, honestly I don't remember what the day is. It's been a wild week, last week of March. So for me, April is finals month, and so that's basically trying to finalize and get a lot of things done. And I also will be preparing for summer because I'm taking a couple classes over the summer. So I need to make sure I'm good to go with all my things in April, make sure I'm passing all my classes, get my assignments turned in, while also preparing for more classes. But also doing a lot of content creation because I'm a little behind on creating photos for Instagram and planning bullet journals and videos. So I'm kind of like doing everything at once. I am stressed. So, yeah. So, for the month of April, I am giving myself a smaller TBR because April is going to be very busy, very stressful, and I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done. So, it's going to be a very short TBR. That's a long intro just to say that. So it's going to have like 2 physical books, 2 Netgalley books, 1 or 2 books from Libby. I think I have 1 coming in soon, and a couple of books from Kindle Unlimited. So let's just get into it. The first 2 books I'm going to talk about are the physical books just because they're right here. And the first one is one that I've talked about for months. I started this months ago. I've been stuck on chapter 7 and have yet to finish it. And that is Gilded by Marissa Meyer. Still in chapter 7. I think when I do get back to this, I'm just going to go ahead and restart it. Because I don't remember much between those first 7 chapters. And then over the summer, I would say closer to like July, August, I'm going to do a massive reread of all Marissa Meyer's books that are published at the time. This one is the first in a duology that is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. It follows a girl named Sarota who is known for telling some magical, fun stories. And she one day gets in trouble with the Earl King for telling stories about him he does not like. So he tasks her to spin some gold. And as you know, in this Rumpelstiltskin story, no one can do that. So eventually Rumpelstiltskin appears and he makes like a deal or a bet with her. And it's like, I'll help you gain the ability to spin some gold if you do this. Now, Rumpelstiltskin stories I know tend to involve taking a firstborn child. I don't think we've had any pregnancies in any Marissa Meyer's books at this point. So I'm very curious to see if that's something that she's going to include or if she's going to change that somehow. I don't want any spoilers. Don't spoil it. I want to know when I read it. It definitely gives me very like the show Once Upon a Time vibes. A little bit of the show Reign. What's the next show? Game of Thrones. Like I feel like give me a little bit of each of those and then that's this book. And a little bit of Disney, but not so kid friendly. So hopefully in April, when I'm out of school, that's a lie. I would say maybe the very last week of April, I'll probably be able to relax. And then I'll finally finish this book. The next book is another fantasy, and that is Bone Spindle by Leslie Vedder. I'm really in a fantasy mood right now, which is very interesting because fantasies tend to take me a little longer to read nowadays. And I don't have that time on my hands, so I tend to run towards romance. This is a YA fantasy that follows 3 main characters. I'm not sure if it's in all the perspectives, but I know that all 3 are mentioned in the description and people talk about them frequently, so I assume it is. Let me make sure I get their names correctly. So we have Fee, who is a bookish treasure hunter with a knack for ruins and riddles. We have Shane, who's a tough-as-dirt warrior who likes cracking skulls, pretty girls, and doing things her own way. And Briar Rose, a prince under the sleeping curse. So it's a Aurora Sleeping Beauty retelling. So Briar Rose is cursed in a sleeping curse, and one day when Fee or Fi is doing her, bookish treasure hunting, pricks her finger on a bone spindle, and now she's stuck with the spirit of Briar Rose. I guess like Briar's spirit while he's asleep is kind of like following her around, talking to her, haunting her kind of thing. And so until Faye It's literally FI. I don't know. And Shane can break the curse. They are stuck with Briar Rose's spirit. So I do believe they are trying to find this century-old curse and how to break it, and they're also possibly going to have to fight a mysterious witch who might end up stealing Shane's heart. Oh. And then there is some romance between the three. Oh. Very curious to see it. Very curious to see how that plays out. It's definitely going to be a wild journey because you're cursed with a guy talking in your ear, but you're starting to follow someone and they might be falling for you or falling for the other guy. Then you're trying to run from the wicked witch and they're trying to fight this other curse but breaking the curse. And then we got sapphic, strong women, bookish, treasure hunter women. Say less. The next set of books are from Libby, and the first one is Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I have no idea what this book is about. I just know it's by Tessa Bailey, who's an author that I love a lot. And this particular series plus Window Shopping, which is like a Christmas novella, has gotten a lot of hype in the book community, and I'm going to read it. I don't know what these books are about. All I know there's other romances to do with the sea and boats, and people love them. They're like all-time favorites of some people. The next book is Stuck With You by Ali Hazelwood. I believe this comes in for me about 2 to 3 weeks. It is a novella audiobook that she's writing in a trio. I think she's writing 3. Might be 4. Only about 4 hours long. So I'm popping in here just to let you know that I did get the description of these 2 books mixed up. Stuck With You is book 2 in the novella trilogy, and it follows Sadie, who gets stuck in an elevator for hours with her rival and also ex-boyfriend who broke her heart. I do believe he does try to apologize to her and, make it up to her, but he's like, or she's like, no, bye, deuces. So I'm very curious to see how that's going to play out. It seems that being stuck in an elevator is always perfect for emotions and secrets to come out. And book 3 is Below Zero. This one is about Hannah, who is a NASA aerospace engineer, and she has found herself injured and stranded in the very cold climate in a Arctic, I think like research space, air station, research station, engineering station, some kind of station. And the only person that is willing to come out there and risk their lives to come help her is her rival. So what I've noticed with Ali Hazelwood's books, there's quite a bit of similarities between characters and plot and tropes. I have noticed that almost every book is enemies to lovers with rivals. For some reason, they get forced together or they work together even though they don't really like each other. Very STEM related, often academia or university or some kind of job related. Very cheesy. So, yeah. I went to click the pause video button and ended up ending it all together. So, we're going to restart. So the next section is my Netgalley reads. I'm planning to read at least 2 or 3 per month because I'm currently at 23 unread on my list. I do try to randomize this because I feel like a lot of times when I plan to read it, I tend to end up choosing a completely different one by the time that month comes around. But as of right now, I'm currently in the mood to read Gilded, which is a Netgalley pick for me. I also kind of want to read Love Somebody by Rachel Rosake. So this is a contemporary novel. I believe it follows 3 main characters. I want to say 2 of them are girls and one's a guy. I'm not entirely sure. One asks friend 1 has feelings for friend 2. In order to get friend 2 to reciprocate and see if they like them and stuff, they enlist friend 3's help. But things become complicated because I believe friend 3 starts to fall for friend 1, and then I believe along the way they're all doing their own personal activities, and relationships just become complicated, and obviously being a teenager trying to fall in love and navigate life, school, and friendships and relationships, it's hard, it's complicated. So I really want to read that. This was mainly a cover pick. I saw this on Netgalley and I was like, request. Didn't even ask questions, just requested. And the next book that I think I want to read is A Face for Picasso by Ariel Henley. This is a non-fiction about Ariel and I believe her sister. If I remember correctly, Ariel and her sister, they were diagnosed with Cruzon syndrome. It was basically when the bones in your face start to fuse together and I think somewhat inwards. And so this book is basically about them growing up with that and, you know, going through medication, surgery, therapy, going to school, getting jobs, struggling with beauty and industry and things like that. And so I'm very curious to learn more about this syndrome. I didn't know this syndrome existed, and also just reading more nonfiction and things like that. So I definitely got that a couple months ago. I did start it, but I ended up putting it down because I was not in the mood for nonfiction at the time, but I really want to read nonfiction and learn some things right now. So I definitely think that's going to be something I pick up very soon. Alright, so for the next category, and the final category is Kindle Unlimited. So I am subscribed to Kindle Unlimited, but I have decided to end my subscription because I want to save some money and also need to focus on my physical TBR and I also want to focus on school. So I think instead of subscribing to them, I'm just going to stay subscribed to Book of the Month, which I have been skipping like every month. I don't think I've gotten a month for the entirety of 2022 yet. I don't think I've gotten a book for the entirety of 2022 yet. So I think I'm just unsubscribed to KU and then focus on using my library and my own shelf because I'm going to be doing a lot of focus with school very soon since I have fall, summer, spring, fall, spring classes like back to back until I graduate. So since my Kindle Limited subscription ends in April, I would like to try and finish as many of those books that I have downloaded on there. I did go through a couple days ago and just return the ones that I'm like, I don't care anymore. But I do have a few that I would like to read. I don't remember the titles on the top of my head, but I just want to mention that I will be reading a couple of those. Most of them are romances. I believe like 2 of them are part of a series, and the other ones are like standalones or like different TikTok, Instagram book recommendations. Alright, so that is all of the books that I would hopefully plan to read in April. Will I get to all these? Probably not. Like I said, it's going to be a very busy month in April, and I will probably end up changing my mind anyway because I am a mood reader. Let me know what books you plan to read in April. If you have read any of these books that I mentioned, let me know what you think of them. Since you have made it this far, drop a... What is a good emoji for April? April showers? Wait. Is it April showers, Mayflowers? Yeah, throw some like rainy emojis down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out. So have a good day, good night, good evening, whatever time it is where you are, and I'll see you in the next one.